Oh, I don't like the fact that you have to, like, walk through a corrupted block. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Someone is gonna spawn right in front of you. Yep, go back. So today, we're gonna check out a brand new Minecraft ARG video made by Zachobuilds called I Got Hired to Watch Over a Server That Doesn't Exist.
Hello there. We are reaching out following a form where you indicated interest in the following role.
Server Watchdog.
We would love to offer you $4 per hour spent watching over
$4 and
server.
that's actually pretty good, isn't it?
This is the banner image for a channel named Caching Checks, but according to the player,
$4 is not
never filled out a form
bad, right?
And has no idea how these people got his email. But out of curiosity, Cash decides to log on and
I like
check
the missing
out
texture
server.
though,
Cash
like
loads
the
in for his
TF2 missing
first night
texture.
shift and is met with some signs welcoming him to the Outlook SMP. Now, the text on the signs seems to be a bit
Caesar
messed
cipher.
up,
It's a
perhaps
Caesar.
from, like the server being.
It's always a Caesar cipher, isn't it? Welcome to things. It's X instead of the letter, right? So it's welcome to if something. 3, 2. It's not every O. Take any items to have you may need hers with us today.
Upgraded from an older version. However, nothing else seems to be all too messed up. At least that is until...
Oh, it's the missing texture. I like that it's like the CS missing texture, yeah.
Exactly why this server needs some admin. It has been griefed to high hell. You would think, though, that if Cash is supposed to admin for the server, he should probably have creative mode, maybe some operator perms.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Instead, he seems to be forcibly stuck in survival mode. But
not even
this doesn't really
adventure?
matter,
Not even
because no one
spectator?
appears to be online, and Cash is pretty much free to explore wherever he wants. As he explores this main area, he comes across a main conversation board of sorts. To the best
Gather
I can read
materials.
it says, Goal 1, gather materials, equipment, etc. Goal 2, build main base. Goal 3, enjoy it all until he comes back. Of course, they're not going to tell us who he is.
Yeah, who is he?
Beneath that, it says, how long do we have, would you say?
And then there's red text,
in
turn
very
back
faint
now.
Text, we see 2 weeks, maybe.
Oh.
So from this, we can assume that someone is coming back soon, and that seems to be a bad thing. But best case, it's nothing.
It
Worst
might be
case,
the
we could be
admin?
looking at some sort of like stalker who keeps finding.
Yeah,
their way
admin or
into
like
these
some
people's
hacker. Maybe it's a
Minecraft
hacker. It might just be a
Cash
hacker,
treats
yeah.
it like it's not important because he moves swiftly along to just raiding these bases for items, but all of the items available to him are A, glitched, and B, pretty much useless. Cash speaks to us for the first time and says, quote, they told me not to interfere with the world, but it seems like people already did.
Huh.
Well, this is helpful because
Yeah,
it's
but that's
clear
not
Cash
your
has had
job.
further correspondence with this watchdog thing. But the kicker here is Cash tells us that he doesn't even have a texture pack on right now and even shows us. So the fact that he's seeing these textures,
So
and
it's
these
like
items
corrupted
being the way
in-game.
they are is very, very weird. Cash informs us that the watchdog people told him that the daylight cycle is tied to real life, meaning that wherever these players are, it's nighttime for them. And Cash says it's nighttime for him as well, so they might even be in the same time zone. Eventually,
Okay.
though, Cash just decides to pillar up in the center of town and crank up his render distance to like watch over the area. Unfortunately, the second he does that, his PC starts to have an absolute crisis.
Oh,
Come on,
yeah, I see
Cash,
that.
Showing up unprepared for the job? You didn't buy a fancy PC when you got hired? Come on. Well, Cash, I would love to canonically recommend you an iron...
That's crazy, guys. Sponsor of today's video is not inside the video.
For now, though, Cash just turns down his render distance and watches over the server for a bit until he hears...
Oh. Caching checks? Whoa. A username joined and then they got kicked from the server. It just said username joined the game and then it got kicked. You have been clocked out.
Thank you for your time.
All right.
How
let's
long
talk
was that?
about this, I guess. That was a goat horn that is in the vanilla game. However, that's not something that can simply be done or played without a player blowing into the horn. And as we can see, no one is online right after that noise is played until we see a player join with just the username. Potentially, if
But how
Cash
can
had
that
been
happen
holding down tab when
after
they
the
did join,
goat
we might have
horn?
been able to see like a player skin, but even that seems unknown. And I don't like unknowns. So let's start getting some knowns in here. Cash is back for another night shift, but this time when he logs on, that pillar he was on has been removed. So he just sort of...
Oh, damn. dies.
But once he respawns, he finds that his stuff is gone and a message is sent into the chat.
Please do not intrude into the server/defend blocks or items.
To which Cash responds,
Yo mama.
Dude, you like got him. That was so good. Cash does indeed try to tread a
Why
bit
would you
more
say
lightly.
yo
He
mama?
heads back to the house with the enchantment table again. Cash starts looking through stuff, and by looking through stuff, I mean looking through stuff. He's going through chests, ripping through the bookshelves, and
Oh. Oh.
literal secret passageway in a bookshelf.
That's exactly what we needed. That's what we needed, yeah.
Doesn't get much better than that. So Cash makes his way down and sees tunnels, seemingly man-made tunnels. Cash walks around through them and eventually finds another ladder that leads him up into a different one of the houses. So these tunnels essentially just connect each house together. It's finally at this point that Cash realizes the book he grabbed is a book and quill, and he reads,
Don't listen to whatever he told you. It's probably lies. And if you are him, fuck you.
all right,
Okay.
some fighting words for this alleged him, but clearly whatever this book is talking
But
about
him might
is
be
something
admin,
that went
right?
down on this server, and what that is remains to be seen. But eventually Cash makes his way over to this signboard again, and this time all the signs seem to be gone. This confirms at least that someone has been on this world since he was last logged on. And I believe
Interesting.
Cash realizes that too, because he decides to write a sign of his own, and he says,
Hello? Can anyone see this?
well, based off of that dark oak, no, I cannot. Jesus. He grabs some yellow dye so it's actually legible and then continues
Good
exploring.
idea.
He finds another
I didn't
secret
actually
way
know you
into
could
the
do that.
tunnels, and then eventually he just freezes. and
Isn't that the
goes
same
AFK for a
tunnel?
while.
That was the
When
same
he
tunnel
does
as
come back
before, wasn't
eventually,
it?
He says, quote, sorry, I think there was a deer outside or something. He then decides he wants to check out the nether, and he gets a block so that he can get in there, and of course he gets disconnected.
You've
You
been
can call it a
clocked up.
coincidence. I'm gonna call it tactical nerfing. Now, this whole mention of seeing something in real life, I'm personally going to chalk up to paranoia for now. I mean,
Yeah.
you're doing a night
there
shift.
can't be-
This is the
there
second
can't
night
be
that
anybody
Cash has
outside.
presumably stayed up late, and probably you're gonna be pretty
You're
paranoid. the
paranoid.
entire
It's
time.
just
So with
paranoia,
that being
yeah.
said, let's move to this third shift where some stuff goes down. We log back on and we are immediately
And the
met
table
with
is gone, the
another
crafting
message
table.
from the Watchdog protocol saying,
Oh wait, the
Please stop
sign.
modifying the server. Your game mode has been updated.
And
So we're in
unfortunately, it's
adventure?
correct. Cash is no longer in survival. He's in adventure mode now.
Ah,
He can simply
damn.
place or break blocks, which sucks because he has received a response. It says, yes, but who are you? And Cash can't
Oh,
edit
that
these signs
sucks.
anymore, so we don't know how Cash is going to be able to respond to, oh, yeah, that's smart. He can use the book. Cash writes into the book, hi, still me. My name is Cash. I was hired to watch over this server. Who are you? But Cash needs somewhere to put this book, and very smartly, he goes over to that bookshelf, assuming that if anyone else tries to use the secret passageway, they'll get the book and maybe see the message. But we
Smart
have to wait
idea.
until
That was quick, wasn't? Wait, hold on. That means that someone is here.
and just like that, the book is gone. My heart dropped because I
Huh.
thought this Watchdog protocol had taken the book or something. But after a little bit, the book returns. Cash
So,
opens
someone
it
read-
and it reads, "You are what to watch over the server? Your typing is weird." It seems that when this person reads our text, it also has the weird X's. So Cash responds, "Someone hired me to watch over the server. I'm getting paid to log on and play." And then asks again, "Who are you?" He puts the book back,
And then it's
after
gone
a
all-
bit, we get a response that says,
But it's
"I
like-
don't trust this. Leave me alone."
It's like another
Cash tries to
universe.
write
It's like
back
he's
saying,
communicating with
"It's
another
just as
universe.
confused as they are, but after waiting a while, it's clear that this person has fully gone and isn't responding. He leaves the book there, but goes and tries to figure out some more information on anywhere this person could have gone. But this opens an interesting thing because typically in Minecraft, there's always some sort of tell for where a person is. If they've got invisibility potions, you see the bubbles. Even if you use a command to get rid of the bubbles, you can see ground particles. But in all of these shots where the player should be here, there is nothing you
But
can
that's why I'm
see of
thinking
them.
another
It
universe,
is
right?
literally as though they are a ghost on this world. Cash is looking around in one of the other houses when he suddenly comes across a very well hidden barrel, and it has a book inside. Now, unfortunately, it's unsigned. However, it does have some very interesting text.
I know he's real. I hear him behind me all the time. I can feel his eyes watching me. No one ever fucking believes me, but I know it's real.
Another classic, oh, someone's watching me trope. I'm bored. Can I play Candy Crush on your phone? Anyway, as Cash looks around,
I'm gonna be honest though, I think this is like my second video from Zachobuilds. Did he always have those like comedic getaways, like the comedic timings? No, Zachobuilds, he made the one where it's like searching, no, it's like the creepy Minecraft alpha live streams. He didn't have those like, you know, the jokes, the cutaways, the, you know, the something. I don't feel like they fit in this kind of like theme here. We're making a dark ARG Minecraft kind of video and having those cutaway joke I know it's like to lighten the mood and make it not as scary, but for me it's like ruining it for me. I want to be like, I want to enjoy the lore, I want to enjoy the storytelling, but when you gotta cut it up with like comedic gags from time to time, I'm not really a huge fan of it. Like I want to focus more on the story and the creepiness that is like hiding, the mysteries that are hiding inside of the server, instead of just being like a cutaway gag every single like 2 minutes.
Upon pressing it, it actually opens a secret door. But right as he goes down it, his game crashes. A message pops up from him saying that this is pretty typical for his PC. And
yeah, I mean, it ran out of RAM.
It
ran out of dedicated RAM.
Cash tells us,
I gave my friend the server IP so he could log on and check this out with me. But when he tried to get on, it said he wasn't whitelisted. But I never sent that email, my gamertag.
oh boy. So
they know.
Whitelisting on
That
Minecraft
organization already know.
only select gamer tags to be allowed on to a Minecraft server, but you need to know their gamer tag in order to do this. And according to Cash, he never sent these people his gamer tag, but somehow his player was whitelisted. This just confuses me further because the only person we've talked to on this server has no idea who Cash is. So they certainly wouldn't have whitelisted him to the server, right? And this world was also very clearly griefed, so if it had a whitelist the whole time, that couldn't happen. Anyway, Cash makes his way back over to where he was and drops back down into.
But
just
it's the
tunnel.
same mine,
But
it's the same
we
tunnel,
see
yeah.
a very quick glimpse of
Whoa.
a passageway opening, and he makes his way over to it and tries to find whatever button or trigger just opened it, but there's nothing.
But wait.
But
Wasn't he in adventure mode? If he's in adventure mode, how is he able to like touch the different? How can he right-click on the different trapdoors? He shouldn't be able to do that, should he?
Button or trigger just opened it, but there's nothing around. But Cash is actually a genius, and he tells us to hold on because he has an idea. And he comes back and shows us that he's downloaded an X-ray shader pack.
Oh,
He's
cheating.
realized that if this is another redstone door, he can try to figure out where it's located and what the input to it is. And when he takes a look, we can see that there's a skulk sensor that seems to be what opens this door. But Cash, for the life of him, cannot trigger it. There's nothing I can see that says why this wouldn't work, and clearly someone just triggered the skulk sensor because the door opened. But eventually Cash just takes a break from his computer, and we see the screen go black again, and Cash basically explains that he saw something outside his window again, and he went to take a picture of it, and he shows it to us, and it is corrupted badly. Cash,
You know what this reminds me of? There was like a 4chan post many years ago. It was like a 4chan ARG, where apparently someone was haunted by a demon, and then they got sent small bits of an image from time to time. And then when they all stretched out the image and combined all the pieces, you basically saw a very distorted, creepy red face. This is kind of giving me like the same type of vibes.
puts up some arrows of like what we're supposed to be looking
Bush,
at. But the weirdest
driveway,
thing about
eyes?
this all to me is Cash never acknowledges that the image is corrupted. Cash says there are often a lot of deer in his yard, so he just went back to playing. He is truly just walking down this hallway, and I don't know about y'all, but
Go in. Yeah, go in.
Cash's reflexes are insane. You can hear the skulk sensor go off. The
That's
door
quick.
opens,
Holy
and he's
shit, yeah.
Just barely able to make it inside before it shuts again. But inside where exactly? Cash turns around and is in this massive room of sorts. There's
like a
two
cult.
sets of books at
That's
the end,
definitely a
and when
cult.
Cash opens them, we are met with this monstrosity. And there are several like pages of these inside of the different books. Now, luckily, Cash shows it all to us, so I can give you a breakdown. Let's take a look at this first page, right? We can see that aside from all this gibberish, there seems to be a lot of X's in here. Now, the X's are all over this server, so I think that this is so confusing because it's like two different encoding methods on top of each other. So I'm going to ignore the X's and try to figure out what the original encoding process is. X's aside, all of these words end in OW. And now this rung a bell, but I didn't know why. And after some Googling, I realized it's because this is basically how Pig Latin works. In Pig Latin, you take a word, you rip off the first consonants, and you put it at the end, and then you add AY. I remember this because back in like grade school, kids would like make their own languages by just changing the AY to something else, and it would sound like a pretty distinct language. And in this case, they seem to have chosen OW as the ending sound. So if you take this text, remove all the ows, we're actually closer to legible text. Then all we have to do is move any consonants from the end to the front. However, with so many X's in the mix, it makes it really hard to know when there's a consonant or not. So to the best of my knowledge, what this says is, this is a basic sentence, so you can practice the new code. Remember that the code word is ow. I'm a way, iterale, Enyas gay. I'm a genius.
I'm gay. Guys, I'm gay.
Enyas gay. I'm a genius. Let's look at another page.
Honestly, that's a good joke. That's like a good cutaway joke. Like when we're talking about codes and so on, when you finally crack the code and you find it out, you can definitely gloat about it and be like, look at me, I'm a genius, I'm a good guy, I'm gay. That's a good joke. I like that cutaway.
Ow. I'm a way, iterale, Enyas gay.
I am literally a genius.
I'm a genius.
Yeah.
Let's look at another page, shall we? If we remove the ows, shift consonants to the front, and fix the X's that are obvious.
Do you actually believe him?
Do you actually believe him? I think he's a hacker that somehow keeps finding us or something. Now, upon initially reading this, I thought whoever is talking here was talking about Cash. It speaks about whether or not they want to believe.
No, the hacker is him that comes every 2 weeks.
This text is towards the beginning of the first book. So this maybe took place a while ago, and I think this because there's a page on the other book that reads like this. Hey, I just spoke with someone who seemed to be the same person who wrote on the signs. Says his name is Cash, something was hired to watch over the server. If he's playing
Who's
a trick
that,
on
isn't
us, it's a weird trick to play. I don't know. Basically, this person is talking about Cash, and this is clearly whoever spoke with Cash prior. It literally mentions it by name, but this leaves into question who the book was talking about prior. It talks about he again, and that he keeps finding us. Now, to me, that could mean maybe they're hiding from.
I think it's an angry player,
almost,
maybe like a hacked player, not a hacked player, like a banned player.
Server, he gets kicked off pretty soon after, and it's clear that someone doesn't want him in there because when he logs on for his next shift, he is told that his location will be reset every minute. What does that mean?
Wow.
Well, basically, as
he'll be teleported back to spawn.
After a minute goes by, he is just teleported right back to the start.
Damn,
and
okay.
Cash tries to continue looking around for new information,
every single time
to talk to, but with his location getting reset so often, he gives up.
But how can he watch over the server then?
And get paid, which is fair. And it's at that point that we see Editor Cash come on back and says that he fell asleep while just sitting there on the server, which adds up. This man has stayed up so late, so many nights. But he tells us that when he looked back at the footage, he saw this happen.
I'm looking.
Cash says that he'll check that chest next time he logs on. But come on, is it ever that easy? Because Cash logs on again.
Did they kill his render distance? Wait, whoa. Whoa. What happened to the world? Okay, that's crazy. That's really cool. I like that. But the question is though, are we still in adventure? Because if we're still in adventure, there's no way we can actually reach that house unless there's like staircases up to it. We gotta be in like normal Minecraft, come on. Which we are, that's great. We can actually build up. This is actually super cool. You can make that jump, yeah. But there was no message. Cash got like no message when he logged on this time around here. It's just this place here. But maybe he got teleported. Maybe this is like another place of the server.
See that?
No, wait, see what?
Cash walked inside, the textures all seemed to change. Did you?
The texture changed? I mean, the quality, it's like there's like a cut in the footage almost. It seems like this quality is like low quality, but when he opens the door, it's suddenly high quality. So it's not like a change in texture, it's like a change in quality.
Did you see that? When Cash walked inside, the textures all seemed to change. And when he walks back out, right back to normal. It's
Whoa.
clear Cash notices this, but all he has to say on the matter is wild. And then he continues
That is
to
actually
look around
wild.
this house. For once, the chests actually have items, not some distorted, glitchy version of items. And there's furnaces, there's a bed. It truly seems to be a normal house. However, when he gets to this top floor, he's looking through chests and sees a painting. And when he checks
Go through.
there's a secret.
Yeah, there we go.
movement.
But you can see that
Covered
from the
in
outside, right?
signs that seem to be like a journal of
A
sorts.
diary.
It's the first time we've seen signs that don't have X's all over them, and they read,
They promised me that I won't be left out again. They went to fight the dragon without me. They said they thought I wasn't online. Swear I didn't show up in the tab menu. Yeah, right.
Cash mentions that he had people not showing up the tab menu
So
earlier.
it is another universe. We have a player that's stuck in another universe.
Bad for me. I'm tired. Barely anyone is playing anymore. I don't know why I keep playing.
This is interesting, but also a little too on the nose. I feel as though we've seen so much information get distorted that the fact that that isn't makes me not want to trust it.
But wait. The reason why this isn't distorted is because we're inside the other universe. If we think about it for a second, the normal universe is the world that we saw before with the broken nether portal, the hidden room, and so on. But the other universe that's like interacting with ours, that is broken. That's why if we get communication or any text from the person that's stuck inside of this universe here, that's why the text is corrupted. So it's legible for us in this case because we are already inside the universe where this missing player, this forgotten player basically is.
I feel as though we've seen so much information get distorted that the fact that that isn't makes me not want to trust it. But essentially what's happening here...
Basement.
Was this? That wasn't there before.
Was it? Was that there before?
Clear Cash notices this, but all he has to say on the matter is wild, and then he continues to...
Wait, you're actually kind of right. If you go back and see when he like enters the door, right? It's boarded up, so there must be some pistons down below that basically reveal the basement for us.
But essentially what's happening here... Was this? That wasn't there before,
They wanted us to find this.
right?
They want us to uncover the secret. They want us to they want us to figure it out.
The answer, of course, is no. But Cash makes his way down this staircase, and we are met with signs in just all caps, screaming at us more or less, and we even have our X's that seem to have returned. I'll let you pause if you want to read any of this. It's mostly generic ooky spooky stuff, but
It's so quiet now. Why is it so empty and quiet? I can't even play anymore. I'm stuck watching. I have to make myself known. Am I still supposed to be here or not? They can't see me. I'm standing right here. Everyone will know I'm watching them. It's a watcher. Wait, hold on. This might actually be their previous watcher. Their previous watcher that got hired to watch over the server. Something happened. And now they're still in here stuck watching and they can't interact with anyone for some reason.
the scary thing is... This is the first time on this server that we have heard movement of another player. And the weird thing is, we heard a door open, but all of the doors are exactly how Cash left them prior. Cash goes to return to that basement area and is immediately clocked out. This was a lot of information, and I want you to tuck everything you just saw in the back of your mind as I go into what comes next. Cash posted on his community tab that he was able to get onto the normal server again and check that chest before he was immediately clocked out. But he took 2 screenshots of the 2 pages, and they look like this.
There are links.
We
There are
read,
links.
I'm going out on a limb and trusting you are who you say you are. But to be safe, you gotta solve this. The answer is right in front of you, then right. And on the next page, we see multiple of like a link that's been jumbled. And whoever did this is very smart because they
Several
pasted it several
for
times to
glitching.
account for the X glitch. I tried some basic ciphers online before I decided to
it's
use
a
that big
imgur.
old juicy brain I got upstairs.
It's an imgur
and
link.
I realized that in front of cache, presumably, all the time, is a keyboard. So this is probably just a keyboard cipher where you take your keyboard and you shift all the letters one way or another. So if you do that with our lovely gibberish here, we get a YouTube link to an unlisted video that is just a black screen, but with this audio.
It's honestly so stupid that I'm even doing this, but just in case you're a real person, somehow you should know what's going on. This is a Minecraft server where my friends and I play Minecraft on, and it's just normal until we started getting harassed by this guy, and he kept making his way onto our server to the point where we got a new one. Then he found
So it was a
out,
hacker.
but no matter what we do, he won't leave us alone. Joe, one of my friends, thinks it's a literal ghost because we even tried banning his IP, but it didn't stop him. Basically, around the time it started, one of my friends did this whole thing where he convinced us that there's this thing called the Godwatcher, or something.
Godwatcher.
It was just a Bloody Mary knockoff. If you said the name 3 times, it would come, yada yada. Anyway, you're not even gonna find this thing.
This is quite the interesting story, but I agree with whoever's speaking here. Odds are this Godwatcher thing was just a prank made up by a friend. Why are the letters moving?
Watchdog.
Oh my god, guys, no way! Sorry, I'll take this seriously. Basically, the Godwatcher is a entity that is on the Minecraft Entities Wiki, and it says, the Godwatcher is an urban myth long lost to Minecraft versions gone by. It is rumored to be a spirit that chose to live in the digital world of Minecraft rather than pass on to the next life. The Godwatcher implores the player to say its name 3 times while placing a poppy each time. This not only grants the Godwatcher into your world, but also ties it to your player so that wherever you go, it may follow.
So
However,
you can
there's
never
a part
get rid
that
of it.
talks about the different things that this entity will do to players. And the one that stands out the most is how it says the most consistent occurrence is an increase in coal generation on every world the player joins.
We did see a
Earlier in
chest
these
with a lot of
videos,
coal,
I
right?
had noticed that in these tunnels there was an impressive amount of coal in the walls.
It's not really
especially
impressive.
since
That's
if
like
it were me, I
regular.
would've mined all of that to get
That's
some
regular.
torches or something. But now I'm starting to think that coal is there for a very different reason. And judging by the fact that this article talks about how it torments people and makes them see things that aren't there, I'm a bit worried about the future of our lovely cache. The next video is
Before we go on to the next video, I kind of want to check that hidden YouTube channel and see if there is like anything on the channel itself, because if we do take this URL here, we can probably figure out what else is inside of it. But the problem is though, he typed this in all caps for us. So unless the video in itself is all caps, if I Google search the video, it might as well just correct me, right? I don't see it anywhere. I mean, there's caching. There's Caching's channel in here where we can see about the different videos. We can see about the different posts that he talks about, that one single post he talks about, but it's not in the description. But I think I might have an idea. How many potential combinations could it be? It could be way too many. We have like, what is that, like 12 letters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there are a possible of 1,024 solutions. And I got a document right here that basically shows us all the possible combinations. I got it, guys. I got it. Are you kidding me? I cracked the code and then you're not gonna give it to me? I cracked the code and you don't allow me to actually do it? Are you being so serious right now? It's YouTube. It doesn't matter if it's YouTube. The URL is still the URL. It doesn't matter if it's like u2.be. I have like right here. So if I take this one and I paste it in, it should still give me. Never mind, guys. Thank you. I'm a little bit stupid.
It's honestly so stupid that I'm even doing this, but just in case you're a real person, somehow you should know what's going on. This is a Minecraft server where my friends and I play Minecraft on, and it's just normal till we started getting.
So what happens if I go on this channel here? So there is absolutely nothing. I was hoping we were gonna find like one thing or another on the channel, but you know what? The fact that we found it is the one thing that matters. I didn't actually know that the YouTube link is different from the URL, Because if it was u.tube or u2.be, you can see here, this is the URL for like a normal YouTube, but when I paste it, isn't it the same? It should be it's exactly the same link, but for some reason it doesn't work. Yeah, see here, it auto defaults. For some reason it auto defaults to the upper. Whoa, that's interesting. For some reason it defaults to the upper default one, which is like super weird, but we got it. We still found it, that's what matters.
But instead, it's him talking in a Google Doc with someone, and it appears to be that same mystery person who created that video. Based off the channel name before, I'm gonna call this person Riley, and Riley says that she's still really paranoid, and Cash says that's fine. I think you have a reason to be. Cash re-explains everything we know about this whole getting hired thing, but actually does mention that he has gotten paid from these people. That they sent him like $42.
On
Cash
Venmo,
asks
okay.
Riley to tell him more about this whole Godwatcher thing. And before Riley can respond, a notification pops up for Cash of a Ring doorbell. I don't know if this is important.
How do you have
I'm
Ring
legally
doorbell
obligated to tell
on
you about it,
Windows?
so there it is. Riley once again pushes.
How do you have Ring doorbell on Windows? I have it on my phone. How is that even possible?
Godwatcher thing, saying it was just a thing that her old friends made up on their first SMP, and Cash asks if they still have that server, and Riley says that they actually do. Cash logs on to this very distorted Minecraft
Whoa.
server. The last server doesn't even hold a torch to this one when it comes to level of messed
So
up.
this was before
And Cash is literally
they
just
moved.
looking around this server, checking chests, and trying to find anything of you.
So this is the Godwatcher, okay. This is probably the server where they summoned the Godwatcher before they left into the other server. Whoa. That's actually kind of cool. Pull the lever, Crunk. Wait, so someone is online on this server since they're smelting stuff. Oh, it's FNAF! It's FNAF! So you can use that to unlock and lock another door. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Someone is gonna spawn right in front of you. Yep, yep, yep. Go back, go back, go back. Oh, I don't like the fact that you have to like walk through a corrupted block. In order to see if there's someone behind that door, you have to like go through the corrupted block. They're getting closer, and they're getting closer fast. Shit. Look from the side, look from the side, look from the side, look from the side. Look from the side, dude. He's right here. But it said once. It said only once. But it's still night. Oh, wait, we're almost there, we're almost there. It's morning, isn't it? They're gone. They're gone. And then you get clocked out, right?
Whatever that was, I certainly didn't enjoy it, but it seems to be morning. And Cash actually goes back to that document he was talking to Riley on. And Riley says, I forgot the last time I played on this server was on my old account, so neither of us are whitelisted and can't get on.
But
And
somehow
Cash
we were.
says, I was able to get on.
How were you able to get on it, though?
I don't understand how this keeps happening. Cash is somehow once again whitelisted for a server he shouldn't be on. Cash goes back to playing on the server and exploring his way around, and he makes his way down one of the tunnels and finds this room, I guess, that didn't seem to be there before. And upon going inside, we see an area that has 3 spots and 3 poppies.
This is where they
Cash
summoned him.
Pulls out the document again, and we can see that Riley is just going crazy.
Is it talking to you? My friend said it talked to him. Or place the dandelions.
Cash's next video is him playing on a seemingly brand new server, when suddenly Riley joins. Cash walks over to her and says, "Hey," to which she says, Cash replies and says it's because he took care of the whole Godwatcher thing.
He's in here. He put
Cash
the free...
says, "Well, you said it was tied to your friend's Minecraft account, right?"
So I tied it to mine.
Cash says, "Well, I moved it to mine." And Cash says because all he had to do was deactivate his account and buy a new one. And I didn't notice before, but his gamertag has changed from cashing checks to checks cashed. Cash goes on to explain that the, quote, Godwatcher took care of the bill. Apparently $42 is just enough for a new Minecraft account. And
Yeah, you're right.
pizza.
So he's gone. He's haunting a locked account. If I wasn't the Godwatcher, right? Didn't they lose the color? Didn't Riley's skin color change? Didn't she go from like colorful to like black and white?
It was no coincidence that Cash was in the same time zone as the people who played on this server. He was one of the people that played on this server.
I said
That's why
it.
he was whitelisted
I
on every
said
server
it.
he joined. He wasn't the next person the Godwatcher would torment.
He was the original.
current. It somehow convinced him that he was a whole other person.
It was about
trying to solve
timelines.
this
I was
mysterious
so
server.
right about that.
All to remember just how wrong he was.
Okay, that's actually kind of cool. So, the new Cash interacted with the old Cash from another dimension, from another
The
timeline.
next day after this video was posted, Cash's profile picture changed to this image.
Which is
And
the same
since
image
I
on
edited
Riley.
This video, I went back to Riley's channel.
It's the same image.
and at some point, it was also changed to that same image. I have not been able to get into contact with either of them.
Okay, that was actually pretty cool. And like I mentioned, I think I was right on the money that it was different timelines, but the fact that it was current Cash interacting with previous Cash in order to stop it from spreading again was actually really cool. If you rewatch it one more time, you have like an entire new vision on it, right? If you watch it, you know you already know what happens, which means that you can already kind of like figure out what the conversation is between Cash and who else on the server. Apart from the bad jokes, really good video. I really like this one actually. I kinda do wanna check out this video here because the different shifts make kinda sense, but Era Cash Stampede, do we have any secrets in here? Like a description, a comment? Do we also have voiceover, or does it just like go straight from like this world to the other ones? Yeah, we see basically Riley or... That's not Riley, that's the Godwatcher. I know he's real. I hear him behind me all the time. I can feel his eyes watching me. No one else believes me, but I know it's real. But doesn't that still mean that it starts and ends with Cash? If Riley summoned the Godwatcher and the Godwatcher corrupted their world and they move over to another server, Cash is in that server, and then future Cash and current Cash is interacting with themselves, but then Cash joins the old server and basically attaches the Godwatcher to himself. He abandoned that account and then he buys a new one, but for some reason it's still attached to, let's say, his IP address, his PC. But now when he's in a new server that Riley was in, doesn't... Oh! When it's a new server that Riley was in, that means that it got tied right back to Riley once again. And then we see Cash going back in time, trying to fix his mistake, and the vicious cycle just keeps on going. I get it. That's actually really, really cool. What you gotta do right now is check out Zachobuilds. Zachobuilds makes actually some really good ARG videos. We did like a month ago check out the different like Minecraft live stream ones, which were actually super banger, but they do make some really, really good ones. When they upload a new video, a new ARG in the future that you guys want me to check out, do let me know in the comments so I can do that. So for now, check out Zachobuilds. They have a Patreon as well. Subscribe to them, help them, watch their content. If you like this video, drop a like, subscribe. Let me know your theories in the comments below. I want to know them. And with that said, I will head out.